Welcome to Dark Sorcery. I'm Alfredo Martinez, and I have with me Harold Sanford Carter III, who is the owner of Witchcraft TV. Welcome, brother. Welcome back on.
Thanks.
And yeah, it's good to have you on. So for those of you who are watching, you can go to www.witchcrafttv.online and all kinds of good programming on there. Dark Sorcery is proudly part of the Witchcraft TV network, but we'll get more into that later. So, Harold, so for those who are watching and those who don't know, explain to them what Witchcraft TV is in your words.
Witchcraft TV is online witchcraft television. It's fair representation of all paths. You know, it doesn't matter what type of tradition that you're in, whether it's Alexandrian or you follow Anton LaVey, you follow, OTO, you can follow Druid, you follow Shaman, you follow Indigenous. You know, it's a program that's just, you know, with a label Witchcraft TV, you know, right on the front lines, man. It's for us, by us, online television.
Yeah, and what I like about it is it's so diverse. There's something for everybody. Now, earlier we had you on. You were talking about Fringe TV, but what sets Witchcraft TV apart from Fringe TV and others like it?
What sets it apart from Fringe TV?
Yeah.
What
and everything else.
Well, the only thing that sets it apart is, well, I was the program manager on Fringe TV, and when I left them, I started my own network.
Right. Okay. So now, what would you say is your most viewed program on Witchcraft TV?
Right now, the interview with Lori Cabot that Christian Day did earlier this year, that's coming out of WitchCon 2025. Most views right now.
Yeah, I see Christian Day on there from time to time, and fantastic person to have on there. Now, what made you realize that Witchcraft TV was needed? Was it just just to have something separate from Fringe TV, or was there something another reason why you decided that Witchcraft TV was needed?
Well, when I was the program manager for, you know, the other television station, I wasn't allowed to reach out to particular traditions because of not my issues. You know, I wasn't allowed to work with or have different doors available or open to me because of the dictatorship or the ownership of the platform. So Witchcraft TV, I wanted to be more diverse, and even though I was able to do that, it's very, very challenging to work in media where you are letting all the diversity within the community operate on one platform, because it's actually been said, you know, from certain groups that say, well, if you play them, then I don't want you to play mine. Or if you play them, we're not going to endorse you, because, you know, I can't speak for the entire community, but my own discernment says that the witchcraft and pagan and magical community can be very, very cutthroat in terms of media. A lot of these bigger traditions and groups, they want the most followers, they want the most students, they want the most cash flow to support their works that they're doing, whether that's an in-person temple, a school, tradition, and it becomes very, very cutthroat. And to be honest with you, since I've been involved in media in that capacity, it's always full circle. So the same people that I'm not working with now and disputing with this year, next year, we're going to be friends. So really, it just needs to stop. Now, tomorrow I'm going to be going to Asheville and meeting with a wizard by the name of Oberon Zell, and I'm going to his residence, and he's a leader in terms of pagan solidarity, where it's trying to bring the different communities and traditions together. Now, even though it's a hardship, doing that with media and doing that in the flesh, it's still something that I'm very passionate about. And I
Mhm.
wish that I could try to do it, but it's very, very hard to
Mhm.
bring everybody together when everybody's chief and there's no Indians. And not to like even say it that way, because I'm probably gonna get flack for that. But you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Yeah, it's fine. Just people get too offended, easily today. So I
Yeah,
get what
that's
you're saying. I'm
that's
sure everybody who's watching can understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. As far as I don't think there should be any red tape or money coming in between. Who gets represented and who doesn't in the occult community, or because of someone has a problem with so and so, or someone has feels a certain kind of way. It shouldn't be like that at all. And props to you for standing up for the right reasons and allowing things to be done the way they should be. You don't see that a lot,
right.
unfortunately. Um, but yeah, you have uh, a show called The Lone Wolf Show,
Right.
which I see quite often. Tell everyone a little bit about The Lone Wolf Show.
Lone Wolf Show started, to be honest with you, years ago. I was trying to break into pagan music, and I was able to do that. Like I got my pagan music award with the IPMA, which I no longer work with anymore because of the business. But I
Right.
did win the award, and I was trying to put in the work. And one of the things that I had researched to do is that for inspiring musicians, creating a podcast or a pod show while you're doing that is always favorable if you're a musician by any endeavor. So that's exactly what I did. And then it turned into
Mhm.
me interviewing the wisest witches I could find, the smartest pagans, the magic users of our time, the leaders of our time, the shakers of our time. And I just went through all types of different traditions on the planet and met a lot of really good people. And sometimes you find your tribe, man, and you find your tribe, and sometimes there's learning curves with that, but there's a lot of it's networking. It really is. Um, yeah, I don't know if I answer your question or not.
Mhm. Yeah, you did. Now you mentioned music.
Right.
You personally, you do your own music. I like your rap stuff. I like your guitar stuff. Do you have any type of music that you're working on right now or soon to be released? Anything that's coming up in the future for your personal music projects?
I don't have any personal music projects right now. I wish I did, and
Mm.
I'm looking for one of those muses. To be honest with you, I can't. I'm having trouble finding the muse at this point. What I do see in my future is a book. I see a book in my future.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right. Tell us about that.
All right.
What ideas you have?
Yeah, my ideas with the book is just I was going to write a book about what it's like walking the witch's web in in modern times, and dealing and having interviewed so many different people. Not only am I interviewing people on social media and with podcasts and online television, you know, sometimes I'm going to festivals. I'm going to circle with them, or I'm going to their home, or so there's a lot to write about, and I think it would be a good book
Mhm.
to write about where it hasn't been written before. Um, and I'm going to be jumping on a semi truck with a priestess in about a
Oh,
couple of
nice.
weeks. So when I jump on this semi, we're going to be traveling the 48 states, and well, I don't have a CDL. She does. So I'm going to have plenty of time on my hands. So I think I'm going to be writing the book then. But,
All right.
I'm probably going to have, a guitar with me and things. And, music's probably never going to wane. And I'm always going to write music. But I just never know when it's going to happen. Because I can write these songs in
Mhm.
one day and they're put out the next.
Right. I guess just a matter of when the time is right. When the time
Right.
is right, you know when it's right to do it.
Right.
So, I mean, out of all your travels that you've done and seen different witches and different pagans, different practitioners, what would you say stands out the most that you see a lot among your travels?
Something that I see a lot.
Yeah, or just something unique, something that stands out to you that you see.
Like all the communities, what I feel like everyone's kind of doing the same. I mean, every community that I've been through, everyone's always trying to better themselves. They're always trying to go to that next level, or they're trying to overcome a particular obstacle. You know, whether
Mm-hmm.
that's, you know, whether that's on the in the Pacific Northwest where they're trying to build pagan cities, or you know, or if you're in
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma, they're trying to turn old schoolhouses into like, you know, just like hubs, you know.
Right.
And I mean, even down here in
Okay.
yeah, yeah, they're all trying to expand and grow.
Okay. Good. I mean, that's what they all should be doing, and everybody does it in their own unique way. Um, Now let's talk about pagan music TV. So, would you say that pagan music TV is sort of like an MTV or VH1 for pagans, or would you explain it sort of a little different?
I mean, I would say pagan music TV. I mean, witchcraft TV is just like the main hub. Then there's pagan music TV, and then the Witchy Kids Network. Because there's only three stations, and I
Mhm.
can I can only finance
Right.
three of these stations. If I could finance hundreds, I would. But the pagan music TV
Right.
could be considered a VH1 or MTV for the pagan community exclusively. The only thing that lacks is with pagan music TV. I just do not have the resources or people to work the station where we have like countdowns all the time, or in place interviews with musicians, or I'm not covering all of the
Mhm.
events, particularly in the world, that I would like to do, or really in the United States, because I just don't have the manpower. I'm only one person. And you know how they say the craft is not for everyone. Well, that's very true. That's
Right.
very true in these pockets of people that do their craft, like within the scope of media. I work in pagan media. You know, that type of craft is not for everyone. You know, it's a difficult endeavor to
Mhm.
be able to do all of those things. I mean, we've already said three or four different things: the pagan music TV, Witchy Kids Network, Witchcraft TV, Lone Wolf Show, music. So, in which one do I really focus on? There's only 24 hours in a day, um, and and really, I've been taking a hiatus. I've been kind of backing off. I mean, Witchcraft TV is online, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary, where it's been nonstop, and it's not going anywhere. And
Right.
we are going to have some, you know, some more interviews and things, and um, you know, but it does get tiring, and it everybody wants workers out here in the pagan community. All these communities, they all want the brightest workers, the worker bees. And a lot of times when somebody does come out here and they put in that work and they start creating, and we all know creation's the best magic, right? So when creation's the
Right.
best
Right.
magic, a lot of times people want to tap into that and they want to control that, or somebody in the community that's been in the community a long time, they want to play chess on a chessboard, or they want to have control or dictatorship. And I throughout since I've been on the path, man, I know I'm no longer gonna I will not be controlled anymore. You know,
No.
I think I and you know discernment's the discernment is important. It is important, and there's a lot of groups out here that really don't have a seeker's best interest. There's a lot of groups out here that want to use you up and throw you away. And I'm going to get in a lot about that when I write my book, because I'm not going to hold back on it either. And I'm not going to really be negative or anything. I'm going to try to keep it, you know, well, at least balanced when I write it. But yeah, it's not
Right.
it's a really cutthroat industry, and it's a marginalized industry.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely. I mean, on the surface, that's kind of the impression that I would get. Just kind of the vibe I would get, but I wasn't so sure about it. Now that you broke it down, that makes a lot of sense. Um, Now, let's talk a little bit about the Witchy Kids Network. Now, for everyone who's watching, I just want to throw this in there. If you go to www.witchcrafttv.online, you'll see Witchcraft TV program. Below that, you'll see Pagan Music TV, and you'll see Witchy Kids Network, running simultaneously. So you can just choose whichever one you want to look at. But the Witchy Kids Network. So this is programming for kids. Tell everyone a little bit about that in your words.
Very, very quick story. There was a pagan woman in Reno, Nevada, and she called me up one day. She was a good friend of mine. She's a good witch down there in the city of Reno, Nevada. She said, my daughter just asked me, how come they don't have Witchcraft TV for kids? I said, you know what? Tell your daughter that was a good idea, because now there is. At the time, we had 3 stations, and one of them was exclusively just for commercials, for people who wanted to advertise with the network and the work that I do. It really wasn't turning a lot of profit. It wasn't moving anything. The ratings were down. I said, you know what? I got a good opening for that. So I just started researching all of the programming that might be, flavorful for the younger crowd, the next generation. So I implemented a lot of programming with like Greek mythology, Roman mythology, Egyptology, occult, and of course all are like Beetlejuice, Addams Family, and all the witchy stuff. Any of the good program that I can get a hold of and not get sued is on the Witchy Kids Network for the kiddos. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a good vision, and something that I think is something that is well placed where it is. What would you say is your most popular program on Witchy Kids Network?
Most popular
at this time? Yeah,
that's a really good question. I don't even know if I can answer that question. I think I know last year around this time it was Hocus Pocus 2, because I was able to put Hocus Pocus 2 on there, and that was short lived, before the powers that be, shut it down and everything. But with the particular software I use, I can't get in trouble for running particular programs because it lets it go through the software. It's not my fault. If it doesn't get flagged, I'm going to try to play it. And it's a lot of hours behind a computer, and it really is.
Cool. So now I noticed that on Wednesdays, you put on Magick and Mayhem with Guion Hughes.
Yeah.
Excellent content. Is that still running at this time?
Oh yeah, I play a lot of Guion stuff. I know you did a lot of work with Guion for a while with a lot of good videos, with some pretty good, interesting guests that that are a little bit on the dark side, but you know what? We need that on the platform.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, you guys do a great job on the West Coast. Yeah, absolutely. Guion Hughes.
Right on. Thanks. Yeah, it's he's a good guy, good content, definitely good addition. And I was reading something about concerning Witchcraft TV at some point. The UK got involved, or someone in the UK. What's going on with that?
Yeah. That's another controversial situation. Yeah, I was defunded during a winter, and I was having financial issues keeping it afloat. So I did some phone calls, and we had some financing from someone that was in England, and come to find out there was just a lot of discrepancies with the fellow's character, and that created a whole division within people that were involved too with Witchcraft TV. But yeah, we were involved with England, but even today we have people that sponsor Witchcraft TV from England. We get pledges from England, $20 a month from different organizations over there in England.
Okay.
We've interviewed, pagan musicians from England like Darv the Bard, and some people from what are they called? The OBOAD, I think it's the Ovates, Bards, and Druids, or OBOAD and things like that. And we just broadcasted a hand fasting from one of the Cabots, the first priestess from the Cabot, Alexander Cabot. He just
Oh, very nice.
come out with a brand new book too.
Right.
And, he had a hand fasting, and the priestess of Stonehenge hand fasted them, and Witchcraft TV was able to broadcast that hand fasting live from Stonehenge. And I'm pretty sure that as far as online television goes, and our marginalized community, I don't think no one in the community has done that live from Stonehenge but
No,
us.
no. In
So then,
in fact, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's
I was
innovative.
watching that, I was like, man, this is badass.
Yeah, it was very badass, particularly when you have all these little tit for tats in the community, and you have you know their upline doing all this stuff. It's kind of like how am I a dick? I'm trying to do us all a favor. It's just
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm trying. We're trying, and it's just goes with the everybody walks the path, man. But yeah, as far as overseas and things, I guess we do work with overseas. We need to do more of
Yeah.
that.
Right on. Right on. I think that's really cool. I think that's really cool. Now concerning Dark Sorcery on Witchcraft TV, I know for a while it was Saturday nights at 10 o'clock. I'll pop in once in a while on some Saturdays and check to see. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. I know that you had mentioned about using Saturdays for like sort of like showing, maybe choosing one program and showing it all on Saturday and then switching it out to another. Um,
Right.
what time would you say Dark Sorcery is on Witchcraft TV at this time, or when will it be on Witchcraft TV?
Gonna
The
be
new
completely
schedule, or
gonna go completely honest with you. Witchcraft TV has been on autopilot for a couple months. And
okay,
what that means is the rotations that's in our software that backs all of the content, it's just playing like in an autopilot situation. And the reason why that is
okay,
because right now I'm right. The reason why that is right now I'm physically in Georgia, and I've been trying to build a covenstead down here, and there's a lot of
okay,
work that we've done. Redoing a shop, and we just put a shop up. And there's lots of different things that we're doing within a covenstead community here, where I don't have those
okay,
hours to program. I mean, when you programming Witchcraft TV, it takes about 4 hours a day. That's only for Witchcraft TV. That's not in counting interviews and things like that, or other things. So I think what so to be honest, well, we've been on autopilot for a couple months. But I think within a couple of months, like this, a schedule will be implemented again once I find some more time, and I might be finding this time in that semi truck that I was telling you about.
okay, cool, cool. So everyone watching, if you want to watch Dark Sorcery on Witchcraft TV, you can just go to www.witchcrafttv.online, check the schedule, and you'll be able to see that. If those of you on this channel who like to watch Guion Hughes, you could watch him also. I think it's on Wednesdays. You can check the schedule, check him out also. But yeah, anyone who's watching, link below in the video description. Check out Witchcraft TV, or just type in your browser www.witchcrafttv.online, and it'll go there. Now, if it says it's going to be on at a certain time, it's going to be at a certain time on your time, because I'm assuming that it adjusts to whatever your time zone is, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Okay,
Right.
cool. So if it says 8 p.m., it's 8 p.m. your time, not Central, not Pacific, not Mountain, not Eastern, your time. So that's the convenience that it's easy to tell what's going to be on. Harold, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I like Witchcraft TV, and I encourage everyone who's watching to go to www.witchcrafttv.online. Check the link below in the video description. Check it out. A lot of good stuff there. Thanks again, brother. I appreciate it. And
All right.
everyone who's watching, make sure you like and subscribe to Dark Sorcery.
Happy Samhain, everyone. Bye.